Did you watch Daredevil yet?
Yeah.
The new Daredevil?
Mhm.
You watch all of it?
Yep.
Let's talk about that really fast because I recorded an hour with my effing brother, which we don't have to do that long. But I record and I didn't record it.
There were parts of it that I liked and I didn't like.
Okay. Wait.
Overall, I liked it.
You liked it overall. I did. So when Daredevil after season 3 had ended, I assume you watched that Daredevil also.
Yeah.
So like when that ended, and they had the whole campaigns of like hashtag Save Daredevil. There was not a chance in the world that I thought if it came back that it was going to be the same at all.
Yeah.
I did not have that thought. I did not have that delusion in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if it ever comes back, it's going to be different.
I was following the updates about like how the show was going before it was ever released, but when it was barely just like starting to be talked about, them doing a Disney series on it. I followed from the very beginning, and they were talking about how it was going in like a certain direction. There was going to be no Foggy.
Mm-hmm. They weren't going to show up at all.
Yeah, and I thought like that was just stupid.
I think you could kind of tell like they were probably going to allude to it was a mystery of like we would have not known what happened to them.
I read something somewhere that said it was going to like the whole arc was going to take place during the blip, and I'm like. So even if that was true, and Daredevil was fighting on the streets during like which I thought would have been awesome, kind of.
Right, that would have been cool.
Like still, like the thing is they only had Karen in 2 episodes, I think. They had Foggy in 1, and then there was like the flashback of him in it later, but it's the same scene.
Right.
Then they could have just done that, and then had him, or had them like. Poof, vanish. Like,
exactly.
They could have blipped, and he could have been, alive. He didn't blip, but whatever.
Well, here's the thing.
But yeah, they should have included it. But if they're already going to come off in the first episode, and then make the other person leave throughout the entire the entire season until the end, like
it's like you might as well have done.
Yeah.
That. Well, they already had the batch of episodes, except for like some little scenes. Are mostly unchanged, except for like any scene with Vanessa. Like they had recast Vanessa originally in their original shoot of this show.
Oh, so she wasn't going to be the original Vanessa?
Yeah, so every scene with Vanessa is definitely reshot. Then I think every scene he's playing with that little horn, that's a reshoot, new add little thing. But yeah, like in the early reports, people were it was said that he wasn't going to turn to Daredevil till like episode 4 or 5. Besides a little 2-minute fight.
That happens too much, right? Where like they wait to the very end to give him the suit.
I mean, I didn't.
So I'm actually glad that they brought the suit in where they did, because it's like, even though it was still later, it wasn't like on the very last episode like they always do.
But here's the thing: like people complain about that being the original thing, but then the first, like he's just in it for 2 minutes in the first episode, and then he's just not in the suit again for basically 5 episodes. Then he finally puts the suit on, but it's not like I wasn't like, yeah, put it on.
It wasn't a big moment. Also, I think this suit sucks.
I love it.
I don't.
I think this suit looks awesome.
No, this is like the one suit. This is the one suit that I didn't like that Marvel was kind of put out. Maybe there's another one that
the first suit I didn't like.
I liked it because that one.
The first red one anyway. I'm talking.
Yeah,
about.
I know.
Yeah.
Superhero movies, superhero content. Since the Man of Steel came out, have been making all these like screen printed textured material. That's not Daredevil. Like no version of Daredevil in any comic like look like. And I guess like the other ones you could say they didn't either, but you could at least imagine texture on some of those, like fabric.
Right.
What Daredevil wears is it kind of like seems at least the helmet looks more like armor or something.
Right.
And yeah, adding all that texture just seems so unnecessary. It looked so overboard to me.
I guess that's fair, but I like it's more red, like a little more red. I love more red, but I was a fan of.
I don't care about the red. The red's fine. Like it's the texture.
I see. I know. You're a texture guy. That's why you didn't like one of the suits in one of the Spider-Man movies. You were like, I didn't like this suit. No, you talked about you like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit a lot.
Yeah, because of the texture. Yeah, that one.
Because of that
good.
texture.
Yeah, but like Daredevil, like that's just it's not spandex. He's not wearing a stretchy suit. He's wearing armor.
Have you seen any of
Why does it have texture?
Have you seen any of the behind the scenes for season 2 that they're shooting?
Oh yeah, the black suit. Yeah, I have. That looks pretty cool. I like that. I mean, I still don't like the texture, but I like everything else.
I think especially since it's black, the textures won't show up as much.
I hope that it's not the first suit that they have.
I don't think
that he's wearing with the DD.
I hope so. I hope it's not either. Yeah, I hope we see another DD.
We finally get the DD, and the first one's gonna be black. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, like yellow in the comics.
I think. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's deep on this. So I think so. What I love about the end of this season. So first, real fast, preamble to the preamble. The show of Born Again, it is pretty much a new season 1. It's basically just kind of like a highlight reel, a quick kind of recap reminder of where all the pieces are from the original show. Like you see Frank, Karen disappeared for a while, but now she's back. This is what Kingpin's doing. This is what Bullseye's doing. This is what Matt's doing. You sort of get, it's just a check-in of, all right, this is what everybody's doing right now. And then the end. At the end of the season, Matt is like, I gotta get an army together. So I think he is going to lean heavy on Vigilante, and that's why he's getting the DD. He's like, I am Daredevil. I am this superhero Vigilante Daredevil, and I'm trying to find more Vigilante. Like, he's trying to, he has to brand it. Yeah.
The name that everybody's giving him.
Yeah, exactly. And be sure, you need to know it's me, Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. Although I don't think he's ever not embraced the name. He just hasn't embraced it to this capacity.
Yeah, I think
you're making a really good point that he's doing it to show people yes, I am.
And he's taking on this. Yeah, he's taking on hero. I am the hero.
Yeah.
And I am getting other heroes to fight this ultimate evil.
Yep.
And I think this is when we're going to get Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron. I think they're coming back.
They bring Luke Cage back.
Especially Luke Cage for me.
Yeah.
Because I love the idea. My dream for Luke Cage is to see him do a little mentorship for Miles Morales way down the line, wherever they get to him.
That would be pretty cool.
Yes.
That would be really cool.
Exactly.
He's been a mentor to Spider-Man.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's been, I think of Spider-Man Web of Shadows in that game.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm just thinking, if we need a street mentor for Miles Morales, who better than Luke Cage?
Yeah.
So but also if they do bring back Luke Cage, I want Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I don't necessarily need White Iron Fist boy. I wouldn't mind if they brought Colleen Wing and made her just she's Iron Fist now.
I didn't.
They could Foggy they could Foggy.
I didn't
Iron
hate
Fist.
Iron Fist like everyone else did, but
I hated the show. His show. I didn't hate him. I loved him in Luke Cage when he made appearances and in Defenders. I liked him.
Yeah. But I just didn't like. I don't know. I guess I can go on about things that I didn't like about it, but it was just
boring.
As much as I knew about the character, it just didn't really feel like Iron Fist. It didn't feel like that character.
Yeah, why is it a bunch of office buildings? Why not?
It seemed very
in the mountains.
And he was super emotional, which I know that there are times that he does, but he was
I am the Iron Fist.
Super emotional the entire thing, and he's just a lot more calm than anything I've ever seen him in.
He's supposed to be calm on the edge of jokey, or it's chill.
Patient, yeah.
It's chill. It's gonna be chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nothing about Iron Fist and Jessica Jones. I think she'll definitely come back because who doesn't like Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
What else? So another thing is. Foggy died, and that made me upset, but I do think it is kind of good because of a couple of reasons. One, there's a point me and my brother were kind of hoping they would do some stupid BS, even if we wouldn't even care. Foggy's alive!
It's funny that they finally give Foggy a glow up and then kill him.
But I also think it's on purpose because since they kill Foggy in episode 1 of this show, it does give people incentive to be like, well, who was Foggy Nelson? And then they could go back. And I actually do think Foggy really does shine quite... when I rewatched all of the Netflix show right before this Born Again. Mm-hmm. And before, I guess I didn't appreciate Foggy's B storylines as much. But through this time around, before I even knew he was going to die, I was like, effing Foggy's killing it in this. So I do think... it is beneficial because when people do go back, which I think because of this show they will, they'll fall in love with Foggy all over again, and that'll hurt even more once they get back to Born Again.
I did like that they had those like brief little cameos of Foggy in the other shows, or, like maybe one or two of them.
Yes, exactly.
You got to see him go down that.
See, exactly, and that's the thing. You see so much of Foggy, and you see him in every sort of life transition. You see him as this like the low, grimy lawyer with Matt as they're coming up. You see him then move on to like the big corporate firm, helping with Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and the other shows.
And Born Again, he's like, oh yeah, no, that was stupid.
Yeah, and now they're back down to this.
I kind of wish that there was a little bit more about, but I mean, I guess there'd be no point now because they killed him off. But like. I still kind of want to see how.
Oh no! You unplugged yourself. Plug it back in.
I still kind of want to see how he came back, and like from that stuff. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.